Your alarm goes off, you hit snooze. You slept for 8 solid hours, but you feel like you haven't slept at all. You drag yourself out of bed. Why is this happening? You might think you just need more coffee, but the real answer is far stranger. It has nothing to do with caffeine or your mattress. It has to do with a survival mechanism installed in your brain 2 million years ago. Your ancient ancestors are waking up inside of you. You sleep in a climate-controlled room. Your doors are locked. You feel perfectly safe. But your brain does not. Your brain is a deeply paranoid organ that evolved on the dangerous savannas of prehistoric Africa. Every night was a gamble with death. A deep sleep was a death sentence. How did your ancestors survive? They evolved a sleep architecture that is fundamentally incompatible with the modern world. You have probably experienced this mismatch on your first night in a hotel room. You toss and turn. You wake up at the slightest noise. Sleep scientists call this the first night effect. Researchers at Brown University decided to look closer. Dr. Masako Tameki and her team put people in brain scanners to see what happens in a new bed. What they found completely changed our understanding of human sleep. One half of your brain stays awake. It is known as unihemispheric slow-wave sleep. Dolphins do it to keep swimming while they rest, and it turns out you do it too. In a stressful environment, your left hemisphere drops into a deep slumber. But your right hemisphere acts as a night watchman. It keeps its metaphorical eyes wide open. Is this why you wake up tired? Yes, because the first night effect has become a permanent state. Your brain does not know the difference between a hungry lion and a stressful email. To your prehistoric survival software, stress is stress. It signals danger. When you go to sleep worried about your job, your brain assumes you are in a hostile jungle. It deploys the night watchman. You spend 8 hours in bed, but almost 0 hours in the deep, restorative stages of sleep. When did sleep become so difficult? To understand this, look at the chemical warfare inside your head. Melatonin is the chemical of darkness. Cortisol is the chemical of stress. In a natural environment, the setting sun triggers a massive release of melatonin. But you do not live in a natural environment. You live in a world of artificial suns. Your phone emits a specific wavelength of blue light. This light perfectly mimics the midday sun on the African savanna. Your retinas absorb this light and send a frantic message to your pineal gland. They order your body to halt all melatonin production. How can you expect to rest when your biology is being lied to? This deception goes deeper than just light. You have been told your entire life that you need 8 uninterrupted hours of sleep. You panic when you stare at the ceiling at 3 in the morning. But this 8-hour block is an industrial concept. Before the Industrial Revolution, humans did not sleep like this. Historical records show our ancestors practiced biphasic sleep. They slept in 2 distinct chunks. They would sleep for 4 hours, wake up in the middle of the night, and stay awake for an hour or 2. Then they would go back to sleep. Is your insomnia actually just a ghost of this ancient pattern? Science suggests that it is. Dr. Thomas Ware at the National Institute of Mental Health conducted a fascinating experiment. He plunged modern humans into a prehistoric lighting schedule with 14 hours of darkness. Soon, their sleep naturally divided into 2 pieces. They experienced a profound period of calm wakefulness in the middle of the night. You are not broken for waking up at night. You are just forcing an ancient biology into a modern box. But the unnatural schedule is only half the problem. Your physical body is completely rested by the time you go to bed. But your mind is utterly exhausted. You are physically sedentary but psychologically sprinting. Your brain desperately needs to clean house. During deep sleep, your brain flushes out toxic byproducts of thinking. If you do not get enough deep sleep, this trash accumulates. It makes your thinking sluggish. Is this why everything feels so overwhelming when you are tired? Yes, and the consequences are measurable. Dr. Matthew Walker, a neuroscientist at UC Berkeley, studied sleep-deprived individuals. He monitored their brain activity. The results were terrifying. The emotional center of the brain, the amygdala, became hyperactive. It reacted to everything as if it were a mortal threat. When you are tired, your prefrontal cortex goes offline. You can no longer put the brakes on your primal fears. You become emotionally irrational. Your fatigue is turning you into a more reactive, fearful version of yourself. This creates a brutal loop. You wake up tired because your sleep was shallow. Your amygdala is hyperactive, spiking your cortisol levels. When night comes, your brain is convinced you are surrounded by predators. It deploys the watchman again. How do you break this cycle? You have to convince your ancient brain that it is safe to rest. You have to send physical signals of safety. The first signal is temperature. To initiate deep sleep, your core body temperature needs to drop by about 2 degrees. Taking a hot bath forces your core temperature to plummet when you get out. The second signal is a reduction in input. You have to stop feeding your brain threats. When you finally understand this, everything changes. You stop fighting your biology. You realize that your tiredness is not a weakness. It is a deeply ingrained survival mechanism. Your brain is trying to save your life. It is keeping you alert because it loves you. You don't need a better mattress. You need to build a bridge between your modern life and your evolutionary past. Dim the lights, cool the room. Let the night be dark again. Your alarm goes off. You hit snooze. You slept for 8 solid hours, but you feel like you haven't slept at all. You drag yourself out of bed, but tomorrow you will know exactly why. You will know that your ancient ancestors were just trying to keep you safe in the D.